What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Top 5 on this glorious Top 5 Friday, and I could not be more excited to be talking to you about the top 5 songs of the 1970s, which in my opinion is the greatest decade in music history. And for some of you that have been watching my channel, this might seem a little redundant because I've done a top 5 of every year of the 70s leading up to this, but this is fun, guys, just whittling it down to the cream of the crop, the very best of the best. So let's get right to it. At number 5, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen from 1975, A Night at the Opera. This, to me, is the best Queen song of all time. If you've seen me do a top 5 of Queen, also in 75 was high up there, and I mean, actually was my favorite of that year. Let's be consistent here, but I mean, come on. This has everything from rock to opera. That operatic midsection in the middle of the song is just absolute genius. And Freddie Mercury, you know, I mean, just one of the greatest vocalists of all time, but this really shows he was also one of the greatest songwriters of all time. It really gets you right here as well in the verses when he's saying, "Mama, ooh, I don't want to die." And then Brian May kicking it up into the stratosphere at the end of this song with that amazing guitar solo that Wayne's World banged their heads to so perfectly many years later. So that is just my number 5. Now at number 4, Superstition by Stevie Wonder. Man, oh man. If I had to pick a favorite Stevie Wonder song, this also would be the one. I mean, this just perfectly fuses so many different genres into one. You got R&B, you've got soul, you've got rock, you've got funk, that clavinet part that is just so key to the song, that main riff, and then the horns that come in on top of it, and of course Stevie's perfect vocal delivery. Very superstitious. Just one of the coolest songs ever, and I got to witness it live when he came to Atlanta and played at Phillips Arena. Everybody was on their feet. Just incredible. One of the greatest songs ever. And that is just my number 4. Now at number 3, Let It Be by the Beatles. And this is a little bit of a cheat in my book because it was technically recorded in the 60s, but it was released in 1970. Of course, this was the last Beatles album that was technically released. The last one that was recorded was actually Abbey Road in 1969. But hey, the Beatles, if you can have them on your list, have them, man. And this is the best song off of that record, one of Paul McCartney's best of all time. Just an amazing song, beautiful message, just uplifting, hopeful, spiritual even, I would dare say. And the rest of the Beatles just do an amazing job to fill in this glorious ballad. Got to love it. And that is just my number 3. So now, folks, at number 2, When the Levee Breaks by these guys, Led Zeppelin, off of 4, the closing track. And you know, there's so many Zeppelin songs that I could have chosen for this top 5, but this is the one, man, that anytime it comes on, I'm just like, yes. Just that drum intro, that huge reverb sound of those drums by John Bonham, and then everything else comes in beautifully. It's such a cool blues song that actually Jimmy Page kind of took an old blues tune and remade it their own. And then you've got that harmonica, Robert Plant's just amazing vocal delivery, John Paul Jones doing his thing. And this is just like blues to the next level, where it sounds like it's just coming from outer space. It is just so huge and so awesome. The best Led Zeppelin song in my book. And that is just at number 2. So now, folks, at number 1, Imagine by John Lennon. It had to be Imagine. Just talk about ballads. I mean, we were talking about Let It Be just moments ago. This might be the greatest ballad of all time. I mean, just the simplicity of the piano riff by John Lennon and the melody, but it's just so universal. And then it's talk about hopeful, man. I mean, this is like talking about a utopia here on earth. When we talk about religiously, praying about bring heaven down on earth, this is a call for that in song that is just it's just beautiful. Everybody knows all the words to it. It's again simple yet so profound, and those are the songs to me that are the most difficult to write. As a songwriter myself, it would be very easy for something like this to come off as cliche or, get a little hokey with the positive message. But John Lennon just hit it out of the park. This is just such a beautiful song, one of the greatest songs of all time. And that is my number one. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. What would your top 5 songs of the 70s be? If you're so bold, leave me a top 10. I'll take a top 20 if you want to give it to me. I mean, there were just so many amazing tracks in that decade. I could do a top 100 of the 70s, honestly, because it was that good. So guys, thank you so much for watching. We got so much more top 5s every Friday, album reviews, so much more going on the channel, and a lot more in store. So thank you, and as always, Viva La Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.